You may be wondering, how do you use holistic scaffolding to process your BS, your bullshit programming and conditioning, your belief systems that you have had installed into your human? This is Laura Foster with Souls Healing Humanity, and I'm going to go in pretty deep on this one. This is a pretty long and very, very personal journey that I'm going to share, and to be honest with you, it's taken me a while to gather the courage to even share this with you. About 9 weeks ago, I witnessed the transition of my very, very best very friend of 15 years, my Stella. And I found myself coming into awareness, which is the base platform of holistic scaffolding. As she was transitioning, I was aware of how unglued I actually was becoming, sobbing and repeating the phrase, "I'm so afraid." Yeah. So I want you to know that the holistic scaffolding has 6 platforms, but they are not a linear, like you go from one platform to the other. So I found myself in awareness, and then as Stella transitioned and I was aware that I was so afraid, I went to the platform of knowledge and tools. I call them wisdom wands. And one of my go-to wisdom wands for me is journaling. So I sat down with my journal and a gel pen, and I asked myself, why are you so afraid? Now, at first, what came through was I was afraid of my life after Stella was no longer in the physical with me. Yeah. And I sat with that. I sat with that grief. But I also intuitively, that true self, intuitively I knew that wasn't all. So I was in awareness, came back to tools and knowledge, wisdom wand, came back to the journaling, came back to some quiet meditation time, and asked, why am I so afraid? The next layer that came through for me is that I was afraid of loss. Yeah. For ones of you that know me or know part of my story, yes, I've had lots of quote unquote loss in this lifetime. I witnessed both of my parents at very young ages, and my brother, who was only 56, pass from a lifestyle that I was living. Yeah, I've had a lot of loss. So I found myself being aware of that. Also allowing myself to be on the platform of triumphs and tantrums. Yes, we as humans have the full cornucopia of human emotions, from triumphs to tantrums. And I allowed myself to be on that tantrum platform. I allowed myself to grieve. I allowed myself to cry. I allowed myself to sob. I allowed myself to be in the closet crying on her bed. Yeah. Now, I want you to know also that this holistic scaffolding, this technology, this framework, it is a process. But once you learn it, you have it forever. You become your own guru. Yeah, that's what I want for you. Now back to my story, because it is a beautiful thing. Because instead of being stuck in my story of, poor pitiful Laura, she's lost this and she's lost that, and that's the story I could live with. Through this process of holistic scaffolding, I also visited the Celebrating You platform, celebrating me. I took time to celebrate. You know what? Yes, I've had these losses in my life, but they have been gifts. I have learned so much. Now, there's a lot more to this story, but I'm just trying to give you just a little taste of how I use this. So I was celebrating me, even celebrating the loss of Stella brought me the gift of I'm so afraid. And the knowledge why I was being afraid was the fear of loss. That fear is a big brick in humanity. It's a big brick still with me, but I'm chipping away at it with the holistic scaffolding and the wisdom wands. I now know that I have that, I'm aware that I have the fear of loss. I'm also able to celebrate me and all of the things that I not only survived, that I lost, but I'm thriving because of them. Now there's a deeper layer here. I also spent time on accepting all of me. Yeah. I know this really is like an hour conversation. I'm trying to keep it as short as I can, but give you a flavor of it. So yes, another wisdom wand I used. Coming into meditation and yoga nidra and journaling, accepting all of me, accepting the little Laura that's inside of me that has that fear, that is afraid of loss, accepting that and nurturing that part of me. Again, there's a lot more to unpack here. I'm just trying to give you the highlights of it. Also, in the holistic scaffolding, I have been coming into alignment with my true self. I know that the fear of loss is something that is a belief system, is something is bullshit programming that was programmed and put into my human. I know my true self, in alignment with my true self, my soul, my spirit, my intuition, that I have not lost anything. Now I know that is completely different, and I know there are people out there that have lost loved ones, pets, and you definitely could sit and argue with me about, but Laura, I did lose them and I'm hurt, and I know you are. But I want to give you a different glimpse of where I am. And when you are in alignment with your true self, you still allow for the full cornucopia of human emotions, the triumphs, the tantrums. But when I'm in alignment with my true self, I know I have lost nothing. I know that the spirits of Stella, my mom, my dad, my brother, lots of other losses in my life are still with me. Yeah. I know that's deep. You may not agree with it, and that's okay. I am not here to convince anyone of anything. I'm sharing how I use the holistic scaffolding to shed my bullshit programming and conditioning, those belief systems, those bricks that are still in my life. But man, that holistic scaffolding and the wisdom wands, I'm chipping away at them. I am finding peace every day. I am finding the unconditional love. I want that more than ever for you. I want you to be your own guru. I want you to have the holistic scaffolding information so you can do your own work. I'm here to support you in any way that I know how. Watch this video, share it with other people. Reach out to me if you do have questions. There are resources that teach the entire holistic scaffolding in more than a little 10-minute video. One of the most economical ways is to purchase the Fed Up Not Fucked Up book and workbook. That bundled together can be self-guided. I love all you people. Until next time, this is Laura Foster with Soul Healing Humanity.